week so far. Mary will be joining us hopefully here in a little bit. She is finishing up school, but if not, that's okay. We'll get to see her again tomorrow morning too. So, with that, let's go ahead and start off our moonlight meditation with just a deep breath. Remembering that wherever we're at today, whatever happened today, whatever still has to happen today, whatever we're experiencing right now, in this moment, right here, we are okay. We're fine. Okay. Maybe you got a couple breaths in there, I hope. Today, our tip for bedtime is to not drink any water an hour before bedtime. And I know I always wait until the end of the day to drink a bunch of water, but then when I wake up, I have to go to the bathroom like right away, and that's no good. So, sleep study expert Dr. Matthew Walker suggests that you not drink water up to like 45 minutes to an hour before bedtime. Just let your body kind of wind down for the day. Give yourself that moment and make sure that you're getting that hydration in well beforehand. So, what I learned today, and of course, remember if you learned something today and would like to share it, Mary and I are checking the comments always. We love for you to interact with us or hit us up on our Instagram, however you want to do that. But what you learned today, please share. What I learned today is that March 23rd is National Near Miss Day. Near Miss Day, because asteroid, and I'm not going to remember the name, so I have to have it here on my phone. Okay, it's called Asclepius, Asclepius, Asclepius. I'm not Catholic enough to know Greek and Latin, so I apologize if I really butchered that, but it was asteroid 4581 Asclepius. But anyways, it nearly hit us in 1989. It missed us by 500,000 miles, which in cosmic 500,000 miles is, geez Louise, that's a near miss. They were talking about it's like a 600 megaton nuclear bomb would have been the equivalent had that asteroid actually hit us. After 2020, I think we're all kind of in this realization that life can change crazy quick and that all of us experience near misses all the time. So that is what I learned today. Our near misses, what we want to work on. Last week, we started with the idea of strength, and we went to Colorado and kind of had our vacation, so we sort of took a break. But when we think about strength, a lot of times we think about endurance, like this idea that like we're going to keep going, blah, 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 which, by the way, fun little side note, women are much better at endurance sports than men are. However, a lot of the sports that we have popularized are not endurance sports. They're more quick twitch muscle. That's what I'm looking for. But anyways, little blip there. When we think of strength, we think of this idea of like endurance. We have to just keep going for forever. But really, also there is this idea of, have you been strong enough to quit? Have you been strong enough to quit something before? I think that there is a lot more strength in that sometimes. So that kind of brings us to what I want to work on. What I want to work on, and I keep telling you guys about this all the time, I want to work on my listening. My ADHD drives me up a wall because I do not listen well. So I have to keep starting and I have to keep trying again. But sometimes I get into this spot with myself where instead of being like, oh, I need to keep trying or I need to keep doing this, instead what I say to myself is, oh gosh, Ellery, like, you know what? You've got ADHD and you're not going to be able to listen better. Or like, you know what, that's just something that you're just never going to be very good at. And I have to stop myself from saying those things. Like, I have to actually make myself quit this negative talk in my head, because otherwise I don't change these things. Another example of this, have you ever had a job that, okay, I'm making the money in the job, I'm doing this, I'm providing for what I need to provide for, but this job is like not providing for me? And not necessarily, it's not bad, I'm not trying to complain, but where I'm at isn't good. Have you ever experienced that? And I think a lot of us probably have. Why weren't we strong enough to quit? What's keeping us from saying, hey, I can just not do this? I don't know. What is this idea of our near misses? So anyways, okay. What I've done well, what have you done well today? What was it? What was something that you took today and you were like, yep, that, I want to make sure I do that again. Exactly how that happened. Awesome. Mine was how I handled a little bit of miscommunication and confusion in my relationship today. I took a moment to be calm first because I'm working on my listening. And instead of reacting right away, that moment of me being like, okay, I'm going to just take that breath that I talked about, it gave me a minute to re-examine the situation and re-identify my feelings and why I was upset and why I was hurt. And surprise, surprise, I was then way better able to communicate that to my partner. And he and I worked things out. So, awesome. All right. Our flow formation, wherever you're at right now, I want you to get somewhere where both of your arms are free. And you're going to bring them above your head like this. Stretch in, big stretch. Give yourself a big long kitty cat belly. That's what I'm going to call that. And then our flow formation tonight, because it's a weird one, I am strong enough to quit. And then I just want you to drop your hands. I just want you to let them kind of fall. So ready? Like, I am strong enough to quit. Oh. And then they just fall. And it's like a weight. It's awesome. Do it one more time with me. What is it? Do you have a habit that you need to quit? Do you have a job that you need to quit? Do you have a relationship, a friendship, a acquaintanceship? Do you apologize way more than you need to? I am strong enough to quit. We have these near misses in our life, and sometimes we fill our life so full of things. What happens when that miss actually hits? What happens when we don't get the near miss? What happens when today is our very last day? What happens when this is our very last night? And we spent our whole lives doing something that made us miserable, or that made somebody else miserable. Do you have to walk away from a religion? Do you have to walk away from a political party? Do you have to tell somebody in your family that you need a little bit of a break before you talk with them again? Are you always the first person to talk? Are you always the first person to apologize? maybe when you shouldn't. I don't know. Whatever it is, I know that when I said, "What is it that you need to quit?" you thought of it. You know. You know what it is that you need to quit. I am strong enough to quit. All right. Mary and I love you lots. We're praying for you. We're thinking about you always, and we will see you tomorrow morning for another wonderful journey. See you.